Welcome to this explainer. Now, I want you to picture this for a second. It's a freezing September night in New York City. The rain is just absolutely pouring down, right? But the pavements are completely lined with thousands of people sleeping outside in the cold. And they aren't waiting for some life-saving medical breakthrough or, tickets to a historic once-in-a-lifetime concert. No, they are waiting to hand over $1,500 for a phone that is exactly, and I mean exactly 4% faster than the one they already have in their pocket. It is just an absolutely incredible phenomenon.
And because of that kind of intense dedication, those buyers have literally built the most profitable capitalistic engine in human history. We are talking about a staggering $3 trillion valuation here. Apple is sitting comfortably at the absolute peak of the mountain. And what's truly wild about this is that they're doing it despite facing this brutal, cheap price war from competitors like Samsung and Xiaomi, who are aggressively pushing out really great technology for just a fraction of the cost. So, this presents a fascinating mystery that we're going to unravel together today. On one side, you have the totally rational choice, a $400 Android with a much better zoom lens and a significantly bigger battery. On the other side, you have the Apple choice, a 400% premium markup over manufacturing costs for a really marginal speed bump and virtually no new features. So, how does a company convince billions of entirely rational human beings to willingly pay that markup? How did they manage to turn a basic utility tool into the ultimate luxury status symbol? Today, we are decoding the psychology, the engineering, and the invisible traps of the Apple moat. All right, let's kick things off with Phase 1, the illusion of choice. So the very first trap actually snaps shut the precise moment you open their website. It's a brilliant, brilliant tactic known in consumer psychology as the decoy effect. You know how it goes. You want the newest iPhone? Apple usually gives you 3 distinct choices. First, there's a base model for $799. It's good, but it feels a little basic, maybe a little stripped down. Then they show you the absolute top tier model, the Pro Max, for $1,199. To most of us, that feels just a bit too expensive, so you naturally kind of hesitate. But wait, sitting right there in the middle is the iPhone Pro for $999. This entire setup is highly intentional. That base model exists largely to manipulate your perception of the middle tier. And right there, that is where they get you. Instead of comparing that $999 middle phone to a $400 Android competitor, your brain just completely shifts gears. It starts comparing the $999 middle option to the $1,199 maximum tier. You look at it and you think, wow, okay, for just $200 less than the absolute best, I'm getting almost all the premium features. You walk in there planning to spend $800 and you walk out spending $1,000. The crazy part? Apple doesn't even have to push hard to upsell you. They've designed the choice architecture so well that you literally upsell yourself, and you actually feel pretty smart for doing it. And this brilliantly illustrates how successful that trick is on a massive macroeconomic scale. Apple's average selling price goes up steadily, year after year after year. That isn't just standard inflation at work. That is the decoy effect in action across billions of consumers. They are actively steering the global market to voluntarily spend more per unit. Which brings us to Phase 2, building the golden cage. Because look, getting you to buy that first device, that's really just the opening move on the chessboard. The real magic builds seamlessly, step by step. Step 1, you buy the phone. Step 2, maybe a year down the line, you add a MacBook. Suddenly, you can copy text on your phone and paste it instantly onto your laptop screen. Step 3, you go ahead and add the AirPods and an Apple Watch. Now your AirPods are switching effortlessly between your laptop and your phone, and you aren't even touching a single button. It feels magical, right? It feels like this perfectly frictionless vision of the future. But remember, Apple doesn't just sell hardware. They sell friction, specifically the friction of leaving.
But, and here is the catch, the very moment you even think about buying a competitor's phone, you slam directly into what Harvard Business School defines as switching costs. This is the severe penalty in inconvenience and lost utility that you face when you try to leave a walled ecosystem. You aren't just swapping out a rectangular piece of glass anymore, you are trying to break out of an incredibly sticky web of interconnected dependencies. I mean, really think about it. Suddenly, your Apple Watch loses, 80% of its utility? Your Apple TV subscriptions become a huge pain to manage. Your iCloud files, all those photos, your daily backups, they are completely stranded. You realize pretty fast that leaving isn't just a simple hardware purchase. It is a massive, exhausting inconvenience. The walls of this beautiful golden cage are just simply too high to climb without making your digital life significantly harder. Now let's look at Phase 3, the blue bubble divide.
Here in the United States specifically, this strategy takes an almost sociological turn. If you leave the ecosystem and try to text your friends from an Android, your message bubble turns green. Now, to a software engineer, sure, that's just a protocol difference, but functionally, in the real world, group chats fundamentally break down. Shared videos become incredibly blurry. FaceTime calls, totally impossible. Apple has effectively taken the friction of software compatibility and weaponized it to create social friction. They have engineered pure peer pressure right into the messaging app.
And honestly, the social impact of this is profound. To a teenager in a US high school, that green bubble is quite literally a badge of exclusion. It signals being an outsider or, having outdated tech. Apple has literally turned a basic messaging user interface into a digital class system. It's no longer just about brand loyalty, it is about social survival. People aren't just paying for the silicon chip inside the phone anymore. They are paying for social acceptance, and they're paying to avoid the stigma of that green bubble.
And finally, phase 4, selling identity over hardware.
Every single year, tech critics love to point out that Android actually had these exact features 5 years ago, but they are completely missing the reality of the balance sheet. They're trying to evaluate a rational product, and well, Apple does not sell rational products. They aren't justifying their price tags with the raw cost of components. No, they justify it through the emotional premium of ownership. This brand sells identity. They sell the feeling of luxury, of seamless security, and of undeniable social status. When you buy their product, you are buying into an elite club, a carefully curated lifestyle where everything just works, and everyone inside the club immediately recognizes you as one of their own.
So as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with this question to chew on. If we are willingly paying a 400% premium just for social acceptance and a manufactured identity, what other invisible traps are controlling your everyday purchasing behaviors? As long as we as human beings crave status, identity, and comfort, how much of our pure logic are we totally willing to trade away for emotion? It's a fascinating and, maybe a little bit terrifying mystery to unpack the next time you tap your credit card. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll catch you in our next explainer.